I'm curious.
I do agree with that. I mean, I feel like you're cultured into to things in your neighborhood. You know, you see the certain type of activities, you know, you're prone to make a assumption based off of that activity again. So if you're prone to seeing a black male do something and a white male do something, you're gonna, when you see them do those certain things, you're gonna go back to your preconceived notion. And if I may, let me share some numbers with you real quick that might speak on this. The Uniform Crime Report from the federal government, the years 2009 to 2012, has some interesting numbers. Okay, so they reported 56,259 homicides. Okay, with those homicides, 1,491 of them were use of force from officers. 915 of those men that got killed by officers were white men. That's 61.4%. And 481 were black men. So that's 32%. So there's a lot, you know, a lot of people don't understand that, you know, it's not just black men getting killed by officers. Look very good. There's also white men being killed as well. And thing or something. The number is even more interesting. On the camera. 19,000 of those 56,000 were black males that got killed. And 17,000 of those 19,000 were black on black murders. So when you're working in these high crime areas, they're predominantly black communities, you know, they just got to understand that, you know, officers see these numbers and, you know, they act accordingly. You know, the fact of the matter is some of these neighborhoods are just really dangerous places to work.
Based upon facts, based upon numbers, based upon arrests in previous neighborhoods. Let me just ask you before I let you go quickly, Anwar, has anything changed personally for you since the last time we spoke on all of this?
Yes. I mean, like I said in my letter, I was frightened about, you know, what was going to happen in wake of the Ferguson riots and the New York situation. And everything that I thought would happen was, I mean, now we're getting, cops are getting ambushed more. We got the cops in New York that are getting killed in their cars. You know, now people are loosening up the car tires of cops in hopes that while they're driving down the street, the tires will fall off and they'll die. And they're stealing stuff from our cars. They're shooting up cops' houses. It's just gotten out of control, and it's one of those trends that I hope, you know, passes soon.
I hope so too. I hope so too, and I commend you for your work and coming on and speaking with me again, Anwar Saunders. Thank you. Coming up next, after this terrifying plane crash that was caught on camera on this dash cam, TransAsia tested its pilots. 10 of them failed. What does that mean for the airline? That's coming up. Also ahead, the attorney for the man who killed American sniper Chris Kyle argues his psychosis was so severe, he didn't know what he was doing was wrong. Will that defense work?
Where'd they put you?
Conversation ahead.
Oh, you're over there. You're going over there. This got weird over here.
You wouldn't ignore signs of damage in your home. Are you sure you're not ignoring them in your body? Even if you're treating your Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis, an occasional flare may be a sign of damaging inflammation. And if you ignore the signs, the more symptoms could become. Damaging inflammation may be with the expert advice tool at crohnsandcolitis.com. Speak with your gastroenterologist.
We've always been at the forefront of providing technology to detect hidden threats, see the whole picture, process critical information, and put it in the hands of our defenders, reaching constantly evolving threats before they reach us. That's the value of
Gotta be camera somewhere here.
So what are you looking for in a man?
Intelligence, sense of humor, confidence, somebody that's interested in sports.
All the good ones are taken. That's not true. There's so many good ones on Match. Let me show you. That's a good one, right? That's a good one. Funny, kind, soccer fanatic. He's cute.
Maybe there's got to be a Logitech application, so let's go find that.
Right for you. Over 25,000 people join Match every day. Every day. Yowza!
Match. Start for free today.
I didn't realize how bad my smile was with fillings and root canals. I had to do something. I looked at partial bridges, I looked at dentures. Out of all the options, Clear Choice was the only choice for me.
At Clear Choice, we bring hope to millions who suffer from missing or failing teeth with dental implants that look, feel, and function like strong, natural teeth.
All the specialists with all the technology they need are in one spot. It makes delivering this 21st century world-class dentistry very easy to do, and we do it in one day.
I can laugh, people crack a joke, and I smile. It was a life-changing thing.
Call today to schedule your free comprehensive consultation, an ICAP 3D imaging scan. We'll even talk financing options while you're here.
They not only helped to rebuild my smile, but helped me to rebuild my self-confidence. They really set me free. I mean, look at this smile.
At Clear Choice, you're about to discover what you've been missing all these years. Call Clear Choice today.
If anybody is looking for home repair or home improvement, you need to go to Home Advisor.
At Home Advisor, you'll find millions of reviews of pre-screened local home pros.
Home Advisor took care of all of it, and they're there when I need them.
And it's always free. Go to homeadvisor.com now.
We're minutes away from the big competition. I am the host of the CNN Quiz Show. What was Bill Clinton's full name at birth? Unlike the other guys, we actually really like each other.
The CNN Quiz Show, Monday at 9 on CNN.
I'm thinking of a number.
60.
Yes. It's historic. It's monumental. It's Santa Barbara Honda's President's Day event. The Pres says save every single penny on every single
What's going on, you guys?
overall brand. Now at Santa Barbara Honda, buy the new Civic, $159 a month. Take home Accord, $199 a month. Motor Trend SUV of the Year, CRV, $239 a month. Plus a huge selection of certified used Hondas. Easy financing with the credit.
What I want to do is applications.
President's Day event. Hurry.
Applications. Where do we put the applications? Oh, they're in the binder.
In the Kellogg Auto Center. Go
There they are.
Once upon a time,
Launchpad.
Goldilocks was picking flowers.
So Logitech didn't create an application. How do I even know that's on? In fact, maybe it isn't even on. Well, no, it had to be on because you couldn't be getting it over there. So that's not a problem. I don't have a light on here or anything to tell me it is on, but theoretically, if I'm recording. Let's just go. Okay, I think I created a Hangout. I'm not sure I did or not.
Chairs and other high-quality furnishings.
Push to talk.
This is CNN.
Let's put this aside and go back to YouTube.
TransAsia Airways is grounding 10 pilots for failing a proficiency test recommended by officials in the wake of last week's deadly crash in Taipei. And the test they failed, which is part of the oral part of the examination, these 39 different pilots who passed must now complete this simulator test. All of this is recovery crews are continuing to search for one remaining victim who is yet to be found. At least 42 people were killed when the wing of that ATR turboprop clipped that bridge, sending the plane careening into the river. Aviation correspondent Richard Quest is with me with more. And first, so after this crash happened, these pilots were tested. What was the test? What were the questions?
Right, we now know that the right engine failed, the number 2 engine failed, and it appears number 1 engine was switched off. So this test was all about how pilots respond when there is an engine failure.
Okay.
It's the most often tested, if you like, thing that they do in the simulator. It is absolute basic aeronautics and aviation for commercial pilots. How you respond when there is a failure of one engine in making the decision of which engine and how you deal with it. And what happened at TransAsia is that a large number of pilots either were away and didn't take the test, or they failed the test.
10 of them failed, right?
Out of 49. And this is exceptionally worrying for the airline because it clearly shows they either didn't take the test or they weren't sufficiently aware of how to handle this particular emergency situation. They've been told, you've got a month to study, retake the test. If you fail the test, then you're fired.
So what happens to these 10 who failed?
Well, they've got a month now to get back up to speed. I mean, It's not unusual. Pilots do fail sometimes in the sim test, but what they were being tested on.
You're saying Aeronautics 101.
Oh, this was pretty basic stuff. This was absolutely crucial to all pilots. How you handle a failure of an engine on takeoff.
Okay, and then just finally, former Korean Air executive sentenced to a year in prison over macadamia nuts.
Yep, this is the story of Heather Cho. She's the daughter of the chairman. She was the vice president. You will remember we've had lots of deep apologies from Heather Cho. She basically ordered the plane back to the gate so that she could have the chief purser removed because one of the flight attendants in first class served her macadamia nuts in a bag, not on a plate.
You're serious?
No, no, no. It's a well-documented case. She apparently, the case is known as nut rage. She went ballistic. She poked the chief flight attendant with her file. She made him kneel on the floor and apologize. She's done tearful apologies up the wazoo for days. But now the judge said, you treated that plane as if it was your own private aircraft. You're going to prison for a year. Another airline exec got 8 months for trying to get the chief flight attendant to change his story.
Nut rage.
Nut rage. If somebody offers you macadamia nuts on a plane, make sure they are served on a plate, not a bag.
Richard Quest. I take my peanuts in a bag, and I'm good with that.
Thank you, Mom.
Thank you very much. In the American Sniper trial here today, testimony about how the man accused of killing Chris Kyle took off, leading police on this car chase after firing the fatal shots. We're live in Texas next. Plus, the Pope is weighing in on.
I'm not sure. Wait a minute.
This time he's not.
It had a hangout video, so how that couldn't be possible. Let me try it again.
Now he seems to be going in the other direction. Hear what he said.
I want regularity. I want good digestive health. I just don't want to have to think about regularity. Natural Benefiber helps support digestive health and maintain that word. Know what it tastes like in water? Water. Except this water makes you feel great. Benefiber. Now in stick packs.
There's nothing more romantic than a spontaneous moment, so why pause to take a pill? And why stop what you're doing to find a bathroom? With Cialis for daily use, you don't have to plan around either. It's the only daily
Let me go to
tablet
iPhoto. Maybe that's where you do it.
dysfunction, so you can be ready anytime the moment is right. Plus, Cialis treats the frustrating urinary symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently, day or night. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medicines and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or any symptoms of an allergic reaction, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Why pause the moment? Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use. For a free 30-tablet trial, go to Cialis.com.
Meet the world's newest energy superpower. Surprise? In fact, America is now the world's #1 natural gas producer, and we could soon become #1 in oil, because hydraulic fracturing technology is safely recovering lots more oil and natural gas, supporting millions of new jobs, billions in tax revenue, and a new century of American energy security. The new energy superpower is red, white, and blue. Log on.
Time for nachos.
In a race, it's about getting to the finish line. In
Hello, and thank you for calling Sammy's Camera at our new location, 530 State Street. Parking is available directly back at City Lot number 11. One moment, please. Sammy's Camera.
Who's this? Oh, hi, Jason. This is William Hunn. How are you doing? Pretty good. I'm a little frustrated, a little tired, but I have a question hopefully you can help me with quickly. And because things are different between old computers and new computers, as you know. But anyway, I'm on my new Mac Mini, and what I'd like to do is download movies. Oh, I have my GoPro, so I'm going to download that, but I want to record movies from my webcam onto the computer. Used to be when I called up iMovie, there was a way to record, but I was wondering if you could help me figure out how do I just record the movie? I mean, what's the best way? Would you just, take and record movies off of a webcam that you're going to put on YouTube?
When I do that, I tend to use the program called Photo Booth.
Oh, okay. So
and it has a video feature to it. So there's a camera that takes stills, and then there's a video feature that would record video.
Okay. I think you sent me in the right direction. It should be intuitive from there. I don't want to take any more of your time.
Okay. Well,
how is your day?
Doing well.
Oh, who is the most important, most like greatest Jason of all time?
Probably Jason and the Argonauts.
Yeah, cool. Okay. You got to think about this. If we advanced in 5 years, 100 years, and retired everybody off the, out of what they do and out of their minds, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to play games. We're going to go back and we're going to find out about our past and what was Jason the Argonauts, and we'll create new versions of it. Right. So anyway, by the way, I'll just tell you what I'm doing with now is I've got multiple screens and computers going, and I'm turning basically my boat into a studio for the final trip. I was going to take in my first iteration of this movie in 2005. I was going to take my slow sailboat to China and have like a standoff with George Bush in the South China Sea, but the Chinese would come in and stand off, and then we'd have a chat, and we'd say, listen, it's no problem. I'm just buying the United States and China and the rest of the world. It's cool. But anyway, so now I'm going to take this studio, and it was a sailboat. Now it's a powerboat, but it's beyond solar powered, and I'm going to take it beyond Mars. And so, like when I put blue screens on my windows, right? This boat can go anywhere at any speed. Nice. Right? Now, I'm not going to do all the editing. See, that's my game plan. I refuse to edit. The whole plan is I've been directing myself and all the other stuff, creating the content. But you guys, when I put you out of work, somebody's got to have something to do. Right. So anyway, somebody else will edit the movie, or you see, it's almost more of a community practice. So imagine you have this giant multiplex movie, and then I'm also going to create a hangout. It used to be I could like directly go to YouTube, but I'm not going to do it, and just like have them turn on and start recording me. But I'd rather have a copy of it. So I like the photo booth idea better. There you go. So anyway, I appreciate it, Jason, and have a great day. You too. Take care. All right, bye.
Really, the most dramatic part was that after this 30-minute standoff, Eddie Ray Ralph led Lancaster police and authorities on a 10-minute high-speed chase, and they played some of that video inside the courtroom, or they played the entire video inside the courtroom for the jury just a short while ago. And in that video, you can see at one point the truck colliding with a police car.
Let's do photo booth, and then we'll deserve a smoke if we can get this done.
And ended on a major interstate just south of Dallas, where eventually the car with the truck that he was driving, Chris Kyle's truck, was crippled. The wheels were flattened, and then Chris Kyle and Eddie Ray Ralph had to get out of the truck there in the middle of the interstate, and he was swarmed by more than a dozen police officers. And that video was just played for jury members. Of course, all of this broke being played out because the question of Eddie Ray Ralph's mental state at the time of these murders is the principal issue at play here. And obviously, a lot of this goes to his state of mind in the moments during the shooting and the moments right after. Brooke?
That is exactly where I'm going next in my discussion. Ed Levendera, thank you. Please keep listening for us inside that courtroom. Ralph pleaded not guilty Wednesday by reason of insanity. And his attorneys say he was under, quote unquote, a psychosis so severe that he didn't know what he was doing was wrong. Joining me now, Lonnie Coombs, former LA County prosecutor, also with me, CNN legal analyst Danny Savallo. So welcome both to you, and this is where I really want to begin, his mental state. Danny, I mean, can you just first explain the insanity defense?
So every state is free to choose their own insanity defense, and constitutionally, you may be surprised to learn that some states don't even.
Well, that was easy, so I now I
defense
deserve a smoke. One last cigarette, I will save it.
Constitutionally permissible, but in Texas uses a very strict application of the original, what was called the M'Naughton test. And the only way in Texas you can plead insanity is if you can demonstrate that at the time the defendant did not understand that what he was doing was wrong. Now, that doesn't mean that the defendant may have just personally believed what he did was wrong. Instead, the defendant must be unaware that society believes that what he's doing is wrong. So when you see evidence, as in that dash cam, of a defendant fleeing the scene, that shows that he's aware. It shows that he's aware that police want to catch you, and when police want to catch you, it's because you've done something wrong. So that dash cam evidence is really devastating to an insanity defense.
Lonnie, we also know this. We know that back in July of 2011, Ralph was diagnosed with PTSD. He had been, in and out of Veterans Affairs clinics ever since. Not a lot of progress there. How does that factor into this potential insanity defense?
I think that the defense is not going to just focus on the PTSD because there's a lot of emotion about that. Some people feel that maybe he didn't have a right to claim that because he never saw active combat. But I think they'll do a combination of the PTSD and these other mental illnesses, the schizophrenia or other diagnoses he had. I mean, it's clear nobody can argue that he has not been in and out of mental hospitals for a period of time now. And in fact, right up into a few days before this, had gone into a mental facility, had been diagnosed by doctors saying that he's going to be a danger to himself or others, was transferred to a veterans facility where they let him go over his family's objection. I think that will come out. And in fact, in the jury questionnaire, they were asked about their feelings about these veterans hospitals and, the care that is given there.
Well, what about you talk about, his family or people who are close to him, Danny? We know that there were issues with his girlfriend in the past, according to the documents from the VA. He had indicated that he had actually held his girlfriend and I think also her roommate hostage in their apartment. How will that factor into the defense?
Again, it's a narrow definition, and Texas's jury instructions actually include a provision that insanity is not mere antisocial behavior. It's not mere habitual criminal behavior. He's going to have to show by competent medical evidence.
Oh, Logitech. Oh, these guys beat you, GoPro. They already had a 6 foot and they added, and guess what? I can use this for you and save you from being stuck in the corner. So GoPro, thank Logitech for saving you, bud.
Strangely have a better argument for an insanity defense. But at the end of the day, statistically, it is rarely invoked, and when it is, buy these for
like
then rarely successful.
$5-6
there's a real
Amazon retail, but I'm sure that GoPro could give them for
and that is simply not the truth.
Lonnie, what about also this blockbuster movie based upon, Chris Kyle's life, American Sniper? I know the judge filed a gag order in this case, but what concerns would that movie obviously could impact the trial, even though it's not supposed to?
Sure.
How can it not?
Well, too bad he couldn't put a gag order on the movie because so many people have gone to see it. And I would say primarily people are going to feel very connected to the victim, in this case, Chris Kyle. He comes off as a very heroic type person. You relate to him, although there's been a backlash to it too. So you don't know on that jury if you have people who came out feeling more pro towards the victim or perhaps against him. So it could play either way. And the judge, has said the trial's going to go on despite the fact that the movie's in the theaters right now and people are going to it in droves. The jury's not supposed to go see it,
but it's tough to be in this town of Stephenville, Texas.
There we go. You got an extension. There you go, GoPro. Look at this. You can move it. Please step out.
After the Pope said, you don't have to breed like rabbits. Now he's saying it's selfish not to have kids. We'll talk about maybe
exactly. It's selfish not to have kids.
Vatican also had finding.
But I think the optimum number of kids is like 2 or so, or whatever the math is, so we can multiply fast enough, but not too fast.
You just went out with is engaged. Whoops. That's Lori Siegel's story coming up.
But we could sure have fun like buddies.
It's happening. Today, more and more people
like
with
Playboys and Paycars
are learning about long-acting Levemir.
And the old Playboy is like, who would say today that you happen as a boy?
And Levemir helps
you may
lower
be
your
trying to
A1C.
play a boy, but he's no boy.
Levemir comes in Flex Touch, the only pre-filled insulin pen with no push-button extension.
Levemir lasts 42 days without refrigeration. That's 50% longer than
Oh, look at this.
which lasts 28 days.
But last, but why do they have to say the medicine? Why don't we figure out the best medicine we can do and only provide that and have the science drive it, not the freaking pieces of paper, so the freaking doctors can do whatever they're doing, so they're practicing malpractice. First, do no harm.
Which may cause symptoms such as sweating, shaking.
Ed had a busy year. He and Emily got married and bought a house.
Taxes. Eliminate taxes.
Comments from the Pope are raising some
No
eyebrows
money, no tax.
after insisting that Catholics do not need to, and I'm quoting him now, read like rabbits. It seems he has flipped the script, claiming that not having kids is, quote, a selfish choice.
It is, but do you know how much a kid costs to raise in America? It's like, I started one kid, very beautiful Harmony Star. But hey,
what does he want?
America, it costs $225 to take them to college. That's a lot of freaking money. 2 kids, $500,000. A lot of guys can't make a $500,000 in their life. And so,
you know, sometimes you feel like
it costs you money to have kids unless you can have it free on the free United States welfare system. And then, in which case, you better not be married so you can have the sugar daddy baby mamas. And then they can have the kids and well, and then, or they can get a free retirement for just having a kid as a teen.
What the Pope has been saying. Is that in general, large families are great, and the Catholic Church wants to support people who make the choice to have.
But only out of wedlock, because they don't allow them to have a kid as 2 teens, because they say, well,
or psychological or financial reasons or whatever. That it's not like you're failing God if you don't.
But if they're not married, let's see, that's the thing. Like with married, they can't be officially married, but they can cohabit.
Natural forms of spacing births and limiting births that it approves and supports. So I think that's what he's trying to say. They want to back up people who are making the choice to have large families.
Let's go to your smarties. These are gifts to you here on Silver. Hi-oh, Silver, okay. I don't know why they panned that freaking Johnny Depp Lone Ranger movie. I thought it was pretty fun. I thought Armie Hammer did a great job.
I mean, bear in mind,
it's like, and he wasn't from the old Hammer kind of like baking soda, I don't think. He was from the other half.
Related to the family. He had one.
He was third generation,
right?
One
again this
Whatever.
October.
He was the son of the Hammer.
One of the topics that he comes at again and again and again.
Batteries for you.
I think it's because he believes that the family is one of the most important cells of society. That for a society to be healthy,
we must have families on an individual basis to become a family of ours. It takes a village, but it starts at the home.
That is, that the church he wants to lead is a church that is trying to
and by the way, he's my guy.
To raise healthy
but
families.
you know,
now within that, I
guy before he's still alive, which is great. It's like I didn't have to kill a pope to get a new pope. Has that ever happened before? But some guy, when this stuff like happening in the last 10 years has never happened before. Prove me wrong.
A message of compassion for people who are not able to.
But Francis is the perfect guy. Here's my message. His message is my message. He's the perfect guy. It's just like, who is the perfect guy? There was no perfect guy. Benedict was not perfect.
John Allen,
Sistani was not perfect.
John, thank you.
They're all not perfect, other religions. I don't want to take anything away from them because I'm trying to elevate them to what's beyond what they are. But there are no rabbis, there's no hope of the rabbi Jewish church. There are competing hopes of the church of Israel. There are one. There are one hope of Catholicism, but Christianity is all messed up into different kind of sects and versions.
Can approaching
but
originally
the Catholic
jellyfish improve your memory?
Is at the heart of the game. They freaking killed the game.
Healthier brain function.
Catholics, well, the Trinity happened before Catholics. But anyway, Catholics were an extension of Constantine in Constantinople and his Satan Christ. But anyway, we won't go there, but the first guy to come back is France. Because, well, you know what he's saying? And it's like, if I was going to be there, if I was going to be a Pope, I would be France. I would do everything France. France is the ultimate ball.
Everyone has a moment when tomorrow becomes real. Transamerica.
See, he's like, imagine if your billionaires were just like France. But by the way, popes and billionaires should be able to be popes because they can give the right message, and then we should be able to live like billionaires and have a feast. But we don't need a feast, but we should be able to have a feast because I would love to have the Pope visit. Actually, he don't have feast.
Attention homeowners.
But that's not the point of the Pope
says
thing.
some very
It's like,
information
okay,
regarding
said, okay, what are we going to do about religion? Because there's so many of them, and we've got to have some voices.
Nearly 3
I
million
said in the beginning, we'll have 10 business bulls and 7 political heads, which I didn't bother naming because the politics would just fall behind. They've always been left behind. We're giving them left, right behind. And anyway, but the enterprise will drive us through business bulls. But ultimately, we're going to create an enterprise under God. And so the only way I could explain to the people of Earth how somebody could come along and buy the world is to explain how the Bibles, all of them, connect to that plan.
Easy. If you weren't HARP eligible in the past, new guidelines could mean that now you are. Give us a call and we'll give you a Quicken Loans mortgage review. It's simple and easy. To learn more about
in my mind in 2005, I said, okay, we'll have a council of religion.
Or go to QuickenLoans.com for a more
100 religions. Like I wasn't really ready to name anybody on top.
How you doing?
And I don't really want to name anybody on top because they should be able to work it all out themselves. But ultimately, if I named a person to be like the chairman of the board of God, to bring us all together from Islam to Judaism to Hinduism to Confucianism to Taoism to
like 5 minutes and he already
all of
pranked someone.
That I put the 1 and the 99 others that at the top would be Paul, France, Paul. It would be known that they would remember your name in 1,000 years. Yes, sir, Mr. Paul. Thank you.
Channel 1892.
You gotta go to Burlington.
You can get all this great stuff for not a ton of money.
A great buy just got better at Burlington with thousands of new markdowns.
Sweaters, jeans, boots.
Now
3.
70% off department store
An
prices.
extra USB connector.
Best
Right,
prices,
I need
it's a
that.
no-brainer.
Have a kit so you're ready for any emergency. Develop a plan what you and your family will
Came in my battery packets.
and stay informed during severe weather any way you can. Visit ready.gov for ways to prepare your family.
So what I just got, I think it's a battery charge.
Shoemash are an integral part of Santa Barbara County's history.
Yeah,
But
here's
few
how it
in the
works.
county understand what it means to be Shoemash.
These aren't your official spotting and this aren't your official
Shoemash Life, now playing
stuff that
on
no
Fox Video on Demand,
on.
Channel 1892.
Channels.
The Lead with Jake Tepper. Up next on CNN.
Online dating, let's go there. I know it can be rough, it can be rewarding. You may meet someone who loves your all-time, favorite band. Maybe you're stuck on a date with someone who likes to eat off your dinner plate without asking you first. That's a no-no, by the way. As Valentine's draws near this weekend, Lori Siegel has wild and weird confessions from people who took a chance on dating apps.
Talking to matches on Hinge, I never thought I'd be so entertained.
I never thought I would go on more than 2 dates.
I never thought that I would just end up repeating myself so much.
The thing about Tinder is you don't know what to expect. So we went on the first date. He offered to make a picnic. And then for the second time,
If you can have blue screens, can't you have blue shots? We could put anything on the back of my back. We could put anything on the front, but I thought it'd have a statement.
And then we started a conversation about restaurants. And I said, have you been here? And he said, well, I haven't been to eat there, but I've been through their dumpster. What? And he said, oh yeah, I'm a seasoned dumpster diver. You'd be really amazed about all the different things that people throw out. Groceries, sometimes fish heads. And then I realized, well, what about the food that I've eaten? And he said, the carrots, but don't worry, they were all organic. There was no first date.
So this guy starts talking to me and he said, hey, so what brought you to online dating? And I said, oh, I just got out of a relationship. What about you? He goes, oh, I just got out of prison. I said, oh, what? So I asked him how long he had been in prison. And he had been in prison for 8 years.
I know. Got matched up on Hinge, had the first date, walked into my car. I thought, like, wow, this is awesome. I love this app. Next day, I pull up his Twitter, and there's a play-by-play of his engagement as of 48 hours before a date. There's pictures of the girl with the ring, congratulations from friends. I mean, there was no denying it. So we go in for a kiss and we lock lips, and then somebody's walking by, of course, and the dude shouted, "I really got a poo!"
It's our anniversary, 4 years together. Today. Yeah.
The first time I met his parents, his dad asked me if I'd ever done any computer dating, and I had never heard that term before.
So that's what we call it now.
Yeah.
Computer dating.
Funny.
My deal breaker on Tinder.
Oh, I see.
was
This is
dudes
plugged into
with
the USB. Cool.
tigers. I don't know where all these dudes get pictures of tigers everywhere, but it was just way too much.
Using OkCupid is kind of like a buffet because there are like a lot of options that are kind of.
I wonder if it'll be happy with this USB over here. We're gonna find out. That'll be my charging of bullshit little devices here.
Exactly how universal, like a kind of loneliness,
Including
or
these
like
guys.
social meeting other people is.
Since using OkCupid, my faith in humanity has really gone down.
Increased fivefold.
Is about the same.
Wavered. Since using Hinge, my faith in humanity has failed.
It's been restored.
Been questioned a bit. Faith in humanity has been, it's gone underground.
Lori Siegel. Can we go back to the woman who said that she went on a date with a guy, checked his Twitter the next day, and it was a play-by-play of his engagement?
I died. I was listening to that. I was like, oh my goodness, you poor thing. I wished you so much good dating karma. So much.
Why do people, I mean, it seems like people want to talk about this stuff, the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? They're opening up to you, talking about the online dating world.
I think it's fascinating. I think, you know, first of all, if you go on a date that bad where you went on a date with a dumpster diver or you realize the person you were on a date with just got out of prison after 8 years, it's not going to work. It didn't work out, but like you got to tell someone about it.
It's such a good story.
You know,
I love a good story.
It's a good story. So I think people are excited to come and share the good, the bad, the ugly. And I think this is kind of how so many people find love now. And that's why we wanted to do this whole series. It's fascinating. And I will say this, our man Morgan Spurlock tonight, he actually plays matchmaker. He goes and he tries to set someone up, which obviously you see, as from all these stories, that's not so easy to do. And he's going to have that premiering tonight on his show, Inside Man.
It's like there's a thing you can help be or hire a professional wingman. We were talking about that not too long ago. And I mean, can you imagine though, like let's say ultimately you really like the girl or the guy that you meet and you have to, I would think you have to come clean eventually and say, honey, I paid that person to make me look really good.
This is a fabulous deal.
You know?
2 lithiums, all the charging and everything. I don't think I spent much more than $50 on it. I mean, I think it was under 50. I mean, it's like 30, 40 bucks.
And like $30 an hour to actually
And then
go
this
on
gives me the
someone's Tinder
ability,
and
so like
talk
when
to
your
people.
battery dies and I'm on the road, I
It's
just pull out one of these out of my
I
pocket,
actually
boom,
asked
boom,
Sean
boom.
Rad from Tinder
You're
that,
going
and
again.
what he said was honesty.
We can go hours and hours.
Weird selfies, and as you heard from one of the women in our confessionals, like stop putting pictures of yourself with tigers. I think that's kind of weird. But I think honesty and trying to be who you are might win out. I don't know. Maybe everyone just
Maybe you
wants
like
to
somebody
talk
with
to me.
animals.
Maybe I know. Whatever you're into.
Okay.
Maybe online there's another option.
We have more from you tomorrow. We will see you there.
I can even go to DC with
By
this.
the way, she mentioned Morgan Spurlock. Inside
DC
Man
Direct
tonight,
versus AC.
9 o'clock Eastern here on
I'd be
CNN.
better off going
We'll see you
DC
back here,
Direct.
same time, same channel.
No, I don't want to mess with those
Baldwin, thank you
connectors.
so much for being with me. Let's go to Washington now. The lead with Jake Tapper starts right now.
The most wanted woman in the world seems to be breaking her silence. I'm Jake Tapper. This is the lead, the world lead. Police everywhere frantically trying to find her now in what ISIS claims is her first interview. The most wanted woman in the world, the suspected terrorist, says she wants others to follow in the footsteps of her late husband. The national lead, 3 murders fueled by rage at the very least, but the victims' families say
I don't even know what that thing
also
is.
directed
Yeah,
at
does that plug
Muslims
into?
is what stoked the gunman. Today,
Maybe
new
that plugged into
information
somewhere here.
that hints at the alleged
Well, this is the
killer's
plug I
history
need. So then
of
the
anger.
only thing is I have to figure out
And the
how to.
politics lead today, President Obama, the leader of the free world, as you have never seen him before. But will using selfie sticks to sell his signature healthcare law
here
actually
we go.
get anyone to sign up?
Very easy. Just getting things reversed.
Good
It's
afternoon,
factoring
everyone.
in
Welcome
perfect.
to the lead. I'm Jake Tapper. We're going
It's
to
just
begin with our world lead today. The
a little slow.
widow at the center of
And then
a
so this
worldwide
snaps in,
terror
but-
dragnet reappeared
Oh!
in a cover story
This is freaking international. I'm not really going to be going there anytime soon, and I don't think on Mars they use this connector. And I'm sure because we've invented wireless power, you know, wireless wires. So yeah, wireless wires. Anyway, we don't need European styles.
Killing 4 innocent men after having killed a female police officer. Now, it's unclear what role she played in those terrorist attacks, and the burqa-wearing extremist remains cloaked in mystery.
So that's something. We got this little guy and this little guy, and then we're going to put him right over there.
Shows
I don't know if you can see back there. We're going to slide him on that, boom, 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 and we'll have a little charging station over there for your batteries out of the way on my desktop.
It is legitimate, sends a clear and chilling message to would-be terrorists throughout the Western world, and that message is kill. Hayat Boumediene, the widow of the terrorist who attacked the kosher supermarket in France, was last seen by authorities here, arriving at the Turkish airport just days before her partner, Amadei Coulibaly, began his deadly rampage across Paris. Now ISIS claims they're protecting the most wanted woman in the world. Coulibaly pledged allegiance to ISIS before he killed 4 innocent Jewish men in Paris and a police officer. The extremist militant group claims to have an interview with Hayat Boumediene in the latest issue of its magazine. ISIS says the 26-year-old is now in Syria, but the publication does not offer proof or photographs.
Anything Islamic State.
Oh my God! I need to do something. I realized.
Plausible
Stop the freaking presses.
In a 2-page Q&A,
won't need this anymore. Put in the camera. I know if I had a computer, I'd figure out what that was.
To join his brothers in fighting the enemies of Allah on the lands of the Caliphate. His eyes shone whenever he watched videos by Islamic State. The Q&A does not provide any details about last month's deadly shootings or her suspected role in the attack, where 4 people were killed. But in the magazine, Boumediene, seen here frolicking on the beach in a bikini before she took up radical Islam, allegedly speaks directly to Muslim women, telling them to serve their husbands, brothers, fathers, and sons. French authorities are investigating whether Boumediene also recently popped up in this ISIS propaganda video, the woman in the front row wearing a tan head covering. Experts say Boumediene is a powerful prop for ISIS.
She becomes a symbol for what can be done in the West. ISIS and all of these other terrorists are focused on attacking the West, the people who they believe have done them wrong.
Wherever Boumediene is, she could be a potential gold mine of information on the Paris attacks, terror groups, and on how women get recruited. She could offer clues about how a young woman went from a bikini on a beach to a fully veiled, crossbow.
Oh my God! Oh, I see a blue light. That's cool. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. I found your manual. I'd like to try it without manual.
Virtually a black hole for Western intelligence agencies.
If she's with the Islamic State, more than likely she's somewhere in Raqqa, which is its effective capital of the organization in Syria. Raqqa is a high density urban area, so being able to get hands on her within an area like Raqqa would be difficult.
Well, these aren't instructions.
I want to bring in
here it
terror
is. This is
analyst
just
Paul
all your
Kirk to talk about this.
disclaimers
Paul,
and everything.
do you think this is legitimate? Either way, it's likely going to be effective propaganda, but is it real?
Well, Jake, as you reported, that there's no proof in this new magazine that they did an interview
It
with
keeps talking about Windows, but I don't have
terrorism
Windows.
experts, and they believe that it's certainly a credible
I
claim,
don't want
not a
Logitech
verified claim at this
webcam
point, but
software.
a credible claim from ISIS. And we know that she entered Syria
there's no
the day
value to
before her companion Amadei Coulibaly carried out that attack.
Oh, except it tells me what kind of Logitech
supermarket,
I have.
in Paris, and we know that he pledged.
I don't think it
allegiance
says it over
to
there.
ISIS to
I'll throw it over here
al-Baghdadi.
for now.
So it's certainly very plausible that she would now be with ISIS in Syria.
We know that Syria is basically a black hole for Western intelligence. If Hayat Boumediene is there, how will authorities be able to find her, and how high a priority do you think that is at this point?
I think it's going to be extremely difficult indeed to find her if she is indeed there, being protected by ISIS. She's a very, very important figure now when it comes to ISIS. It's allowed them to take ownership of these attacks in Paris. And as you said, it's an intelligence black hole. Western intelligence does not have good human intelligence assets on the ground in Syria. They're unlikely to send in special forces to risk capturing her because they could lose their lives in any operation. So they're going to have to get lucky, perhaps some kind of airstrike. But the French are not.
And now we get to your really fun treats.
Right now, just over Iraq.
Walt Cruikshank in New York, thank you so much. Walt Boumediene remains a big prize for the intelligence community all over the world. Today we're learning new details about Kayla Mueller. Of course, she is the latest American hostage to die at the hands of ISIS.
Oh, this was exactly what I was looking for.
Kayla's parents
a shut
asked
tip
President
mount.
Obama to trade a convicted terrorist known as Lady
little bitty
Al-Qaeda
skinny,
for their daughter to save her life, as ISIS had proposed. CNN Justice correspondent Pamela Brown is here with more. Pamela, so we have new information about this potential swap for an Al-Qaeda terrorist. We also have new details.
Maybe on a
about
different.
Kayla
It's a
Mueller's
shirt pocket.
boyfriend and
Let's see.
his
Let me get a
role
shirt pocket.
in an attempt to rescue her.
That's absolutely right. It's clear in speaking to this family spokesperson, Jake, that the
But
family,
anyway,
the Mueller
I'm pretty
family,
sure it's a
explored
shirt
every
pocket now.
option
Whether
possible
how
to
it's going to
bring
do
their
that,
daughter
who knows?
home.
But
Even
that's what
Kayla's
I
boyfriend
wanted.
in
But
Syria
they said they don't have them, but they
risked his life to
do.
save her. On his Facebook page, he posted a touching tribute.
A heartbreaking message from the man kidnapped in Syria with Kayla Mueller, her
A
boyfriend.
spongy,
Omar
bungy, climb up the
posted this picture of
freaking,
Kayla
play
holding
like
a stuffed
freaking
animal, saying on
Spider-Man
his
kind of
Facebook
mount.
page,
So what does
"I'm
that
sorry
mean?
I didn't hold on to you
I have
with
to
so
find
much strength that even
suffix.
God couldn't take you away. You left our world for a bigger and better place now."
I need a big
We then
surface.
learned Omar
This
risked
surface
his
has
life
little
to rescue
grease in it.
Kayla. He
Let's
went
try
to a
this surface.
terrorist training camp pretending to be her husband, but the ruse failed.
Good. Oh, you know what?
Congressman
You
Paul
have one of
Gosar
these
has
like
counseled the
safety
family
things.
and
Oh no, it
hinted
isn't a
more
safety
could
thing.
have
What
been
is it?
done to rescue Mueller.
There is some conflicting
Kind of
evidence
mountains.
that maybe the White House and the administration didn't do all they could.
The White House denies it's launching a rescue attempt to
This
save
lever.
Mueller
That's
and
how it
other
goes.
hostages last July.
See if that does it.
A spokesperson for the National Security Council says U.S. forces
Oh, yeah,
conducted this
that's the way it's
operation as
supposed to
soon as
work.
the president and his national security team were confident the mission could be carried out. The president told BuzzFeed he did everything he could.
I deployed.
My God.
An entire operation at significant risk to rescue.
Oh, here we go.
Not only her, but the other individuals that had been held.
Oh, that's perfect.
And probably missed them by a day or two, precisely because we had that commitment.
After ISIS issued an execution deadline to Mueller last August, her family reached out to the White House in desperation and, according to a family spokesperson, asked the administration if it would consider a prisoner swap, trading U.S. prisoner Dr. Siddiqui, known as Lady
We're going to take
Al-Qaeda,
you off
for
over here
Mueller.
just to test you
Even though
out
the
and
swap
just give
never
you see an
happened, it's
idea
believed Mueller
of
was still
how you work in a
alive
suction
after the
mount.
execution deadline passed.
Make sure you
As
do
some
it.
lawmakers
You're
seek
getting
to
them
change
off.
the way the U.S. handles hostage crises.
I'd like to take a moment of silence to remember all those
Oh, I screwed up.
who
I
lost
screwed
their
in the wrong
lives
face.
at the hands of ISIS, especially Americans James Foley, Stephen Sotliff, and most recently Kayla.
This is a lot simpler than I just made it out to be. I just like the green
They
part.
had a moment of silence there on the House floor for Mueller. Meantime, the Mueller family spokesperson told us that contrary to media reports that the family never turned down a rescue operation for Kayla after that failed mission last July. There were reports, Jake, that the family thought it was too risky. I'm being told that is not.
Okay, so
All
I think I want to try to figure out how to get that the other way around. I think I'd be better off.
One of the
with it.
biggest concerns for the intelligence community right now, the thousands of Westerners, including dozens of Americans who have gone to join ISIS. It is a terrifying problem that the U.S. government just admitted is not even close to under control. That is a quote. So what is being done to find all these ISIS terrorists? We'll ask the chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee next.
The Lead with Jake Tapper, brought to you by ServPro, helping make fire and water damage like it never even happened.
From 2 stories to 20. From ready apps to emergency response. From your community to a nationwide network. The cleanup specialists at 1-800-SERVPRO. Everything under your roof, everyone under ours. Helping to make fire and water damage like it never even happened. Sir, we're gonna need you on the runway later.
Don't let a severe cold hold you back. Get Theraflu with the power of 3 medicines to take on your worst pain and fever, cough, and nasal congestion. It breaks you free from your toughest cold and flu symptoms. Theraflu is serious power.
I think you're going to have to participate in this experiment.
Signs of damage in your home. Are you sure you're not ignoring them in your body? Even if you're treating your Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis, an occasional flare may be a sign of damaging inflammation. And if you ignore the signs, the more debilitating your symptoms could become. Learn more about the role damaging inflammation may be playing in your symptoms.
Well, you work really well upside down. I'm not going to mess with the software, so you might have to like get weird and like work upside down. How do I get you to work right side up?
That is impactful.
Oh, there you go.
What the cloud enables is computing to empower cancer researchers. It used to take 2 weeks to sequence and analyze a genome. With the Microsoft Cloud, we can analyze 100 per day. Whatever I can do to help compute a cure for cancer, that's what I'd like to do.
What is it we're doing?
We're going to break an unbreakable Nazi code and win the war. It's impossible.
Oh, let's try something else. It might work better on a window. Hey, this is designed for Windows. It was. Windows. This is a window theme.
Something in the back of your shoe there.
But we don't need it there.
Is this normal? Well, Progressive is a price tag free zone. We let you tell us what you want to pay, and we help you find options to fit your budget. Where can I take me? I don't know.
This seems excessive.
Decontamination in progress.
I don't want to tell you guys your job, but
Policies without the price tags. Now that's progressive.
Why do we do it? Why do we spend every waking moment thinking about people? Why are we so committed to keeping you connected? Why combine performance with a conscience?
It's a good enough spot.
Why innovate for a future without accidents? Why do anything?
Yeah, I think you got a good
Why
enough angle to get everything.
Because if it matters to you, it's everything to us. The XC60 crossover from Volvo. Lease the well-equipped Volvo XC60.
If you're watching this at home, you could always watch CNN
5 miles
at
from a
home.
military base where more than 400 U.S. troops are training Iraqi security forces. This comes as President Obama fends off bipartisan criticism of his plan to defeat and destroy the terrorist group. Intelligence officials are now estimating that at least 20,000 foreign fighters, including 3,400 Westerners from 90 countries, have joined ISIS on the battlefield. And in an ominous warning, said
Oh, I
many
forgot.
more
Let me
are likely going
remember to forget right now.
undetected. Joining me live from Capitol
Photo
Hill
booth,
right now
kill it.
is Republican Congressman Mike McCall. He's chairman.
We have
of
the whole
House Homeland
problem with
Security
Apple.
Committee. Mr. Chairman, thanks so much for being with us. First, I want to get your reaction to this alleged interview released in this ISIS publication with Hayat Boumediene, the world's most wanted woman. She is believed to be safely in Syria right now with ISIS. Do intelligence officials think that this interview is legitimate?
They haven't completely confirmed this. I have no reason to doubt it. We know that she left Paris, went through Istanbul into Syria, which is a trade route of preference, travel route of preference for these foreign fighters. We know that the two brothers went to Yemen and back, and of course now we know that I believe that she is in Syria. She has joined ISIS in Syria. It demonstrates how easy it is really for anybody in Europe to travel through Turkey into Syria and back out, which is the whole hearing, where these foreign fighters going in and out and then coming back to Europe and possibly the United States as well.
I want to get to that subject and your hearing in a second, but I do want to ask you a couple questions about Kayla Mueller, the 26-year-old American aid worker who was slaughtered by ISIS, we believe. There's a story in the Daily Beast citing a British source claiming that British intelligence sources provided information to the U.S. government on where Kayla and some other hostages were, but the Obama administration delayed acting on the intelligence instead of immediately launching a rescue mission. And by the time the mission was launched, of course, it was too late. Now, the White House is strongly disputing the story. Do you know anything about this story?
Well, I know that there were those communications, how quickly the White House reacted, whether that led to the demise of Kayla. I can't confirm that in fairness to the family. I will tell you, with the American journalists we had the same allegations rise there as well, that we are waiting too long to send in these rescue missions, and that for whatever reason, this is getting bottlenecked up in the White House and having a hard time making any decision. I think time is of the essence in these situations to save these hostages, and it's very, very unfortunate what happened to her.
Are you concerned that the White House is not doing enough to save?
We're still going through your
these
GoPro
American
stuff.
hostages?
Oh, let's do that photo
I'm
booth thing
concerned
before
they're
you
not
get
doing
your
enough, not only
seats.
to save these hostages, but to win
I'm more
this
fixing you.
war.
More
All
having
we're
you
seeing
change
is a
fun stuff.
policy of containment. You just talked about how ISIS is now hitting the town of al-Baghdadi, named after the leader of ISIS, with American soldiers not that far away. We know that they're outside of Baghdad itself. This policy of containment is not a winning strategy. We need a policy to defeat and destroy ISIS once and for all. And I think we need to make some serious decisions. We'll have an authorized use of military force coming up to the Congress, and we'll be debating about what that use of force needs to be for winning war.
Destroy.
I want to ask you about your hearing. Michael
Can
Steinbach, the
destroy.
FBI's Assistant Director for Counterterrorism, testified about
I'm ready
the
for music.
intelligence community's ability or inability to keep track of all the Westerners traveling to fight with ISIS and then return home. I want to play a very chilling remark that he made during your hearing.
If I were to say that we had it under control, then I would say I knew of every single individual traveling. I don't, and I don't know every person there, and I don't know everyone coming back. So it's not even close to being under control.
Not even close to being under control. What was your reaction when he said that? What do you think that means practically?
Well, I think it's a very candid opinion, and I applaud the agent for being honest in his answers. I mean, to me, it's nothing new. I received that in my threat briefings, but it's the first time that's really come out publicly at a hearing by the FBI. I think what they're saying is that, look, we have a rough idea that there are 20,000 foreign fighters, up to 5,000 Western passports, hundreds of Americans who've traveled over to the region. Some have come back. But the bottom line is you don't know what you don't know. And I think they were very clear, both Homeland and FBI, about the fact that we don't have adequate intelligence on the ground in Syria to properly determine how many of these foreign fighters we really have in the region. We know what we do know, but I think there's a lot more that we don't. And I think these numbers are quite honestly very deflated. I think the actual numbers are probably a lot higher in terms of both Americans and foreign fighters from Western Europe that have traveled the region. That is why I'm so concerned, not only what's happening over there, but in terms of protecting the homeland, making sure we keep these individuals outside the United States.
We're talking about, I think, 3,400 Westerners and maybe 250 or so Americans, and those are conservative estimates, you think. And we just heard the FBI official say that they are not able to keep tabs on all of them. Is this a crisis right now?
Well, I mean, if you look at pre-9/11 in Afghanistan, this far surpasses what we had in the situation in Afghanistan, and it just took the 19 hijackers to pull off what they did. When you're talking about tens of thousands of these foreign fighters, that is a very serious concern. It's the largest convergence of radical Islamists in a caliphate area. I don't think we've ever seen anything like this in our lifetime. So when that threat environment is so high over there, so speaks to the homeland.
Thanks so much, Paul. Thank you so much for being with us.
We're talking.
Many crowded young boys there fooling around in the corner. Looking just like best brown baggies in their platform zone. They don't give a damn about any trumpet playing band. It ain't what they call rock and roll.
Start shopping.
Sometimes they I love struck Romeo, sing the streets of serenade, laying everybody low with a love song that he made. Playing the streetlight, steps out of the shade, says something like, "You and me, baby, how about it?" Juliet says, "Hey, it's Romeo, you nearly give me a heart attack." He's underneath the window, she's singing, "Leela, my boyfriend's back. You shouldn't come around here singing up at people like that. Anyway, what you gonna do about it?" Juliet, the dice was loaded from the start, and I bet maybe you exploded into my heart, and I forget the movie song. When you gonna realize it was just that the time was wrong, Juliet? Come up on different streets, both the streets of shame, both dirty, both mean. Yes, and the dream was just the same. Then I dreamed your dream for you, and now your dream is real. How can you look at me as if I was just another one of your deals? When you can fall for chains of silver, you can fall for chains of gold, you can fall for pretty strangers, and the promises they hold. Promise me everything, promise me thick and thin, yeah. Now you just say, "Oh, Romeo, yeah, you know, I used to have a scene with him." Juliet, when we made love, you used to cry.
Hello, and thank you for calling Sammy's Camera at our new location, 530 State Street. Parking is available directly in back at City Lot number 11.
One moment, please. The person you have called is not available.
For store hours and directions, press 1. For cameras, press 2. For film processing and film sales, press 3.
Stars around, I love you till I die. There's a place for us. You know the movie song.
Apple Care. Calls are recorded for evaluation and training. One moment while I look up your phone number. I hope they're recorded. Please train the world with these calls. Hi, William. Hi. Sorry, I see you called recently about a Mac Mini. Is that product the reason for today's call? Yes. Say yes or... And are you calling about the same issue with that product? No. Let me get someone to help you. Please wait. There's currently an extended wait time to speak with an Apple advisor. For help online now, please visit apple.com/support. Sorry for the sound.
first and last name, please?
Yes, Megan, my name is William Hun, H-U-H-N.
Fantastic, William. And before we get started, in case we get disconnected, what's the best number to call you back at?
805-881-2420. I hate to keep complimenting you, but I love that practice. I mean, if just imagine, just think of all the people you've called like AT&T that don't practice the practice, then they just disconnect you, and then you're screwed and have to go wait a half an hour, an hour. And they also, you say there's an extended wait time, and that's like the ultimate under promise, over perform, because after an extended wait time, it's like 2 or 3 minutes. But for the other guys, a normal just wait a minute is like 30 minutes. It's like we lost track of time, but at least Apple's got it together. Steve Jobs is still doing his. Well, tell them that's the way a system should work. There should be no wait time. Anyway, Megan, before we go on, where are you located? Okay, in Myrtle Beach? Oh, fabulous. I've been all over the country. Just buy a Mac Mini and get AppleCare, and you get support from all over the country. At least you're not as cold as other places. I'm sitting here. It's a little too hot here in Santa Barbara. It's like 70 to 80 degrees. Well, hopefully, see, I don't want to get weird on you, but it is part of weird, and you have the recording, and you're welcome to use it in Apple. But in 2005, I offered to buy the world through my alma mater, Motorola, and I was going to buy them for 5 times. And then the primary plan was to basically go buy, merge with Apple for 5 times, and Google for 5 times, and Microsoft for 5 times, and put Steve Jobs in charge of all technology for the planet. And just imagine if we had no impediment and we could build technology without laws or anything, because we were one We the People of Earth enterprise with infinite money. And Steve Jobs and all the other top guys are figuring out how we can do things faster. And imagine being able in 5 years to advance the world 100 years in your time. Well, think about this. That was 2005. So imagine you went to 2005. That was 2010. You got 100 years. Now imagine another 5 years. We're now to 2200. In your time, if you'd lived that long, by the way, I think I clocked you out before the end of this century. You know, we probably destroy the planet. It's a self-destruct plan. But anyway, the key thing is it's like either your destruction or, you know, eternal life. But anyway, that's part of the long story, and it's actually in my Apple stuff and on YouTube. You look my name up on Facebook and track it back from the beginning before YouTube and Facebook. I was basically buying people on Facebook when they allowed it. So anyway, see, my plan was very simple. If my plan was this, and I won't get into the details, but I'm going to give you the ultimate plan. You're retired. You got all the money you could imagine, and you could do whatever you want. But I can't get there from there, but I'm going to like pay everybody $1 down. If everybody was accepting $1 down on their like future plan, how much for a down payment $1 would it cost me back in 2005 or even now to buy every person on Earth? It's like $7 billion. For Steve Jobs, that would pocket change, right? So, and anyway, and so it's the other thing is what you got to think about is the technology that I invented, which is a confluence of convergence, where all of your money is gone. We have a central bank, and all the money is virtual. It's all tracked and traced. It's all part of us, and we not only don't charge you to learn and go to school, we pay you to learn, we pay you to read books, we pay you to do things that advantage us, because if we're going to put all the people out of jobs and stuff and have robots do stuff, we're going to have to be doing other stuff. The cars are going to be driving themselves. There'll be no taxi drivers. We get rid of lawyers. We'll still need doctors, but we get rid of their malpractices. But anyway, you start changing things dynamically. You get rid of nations. That's the key. You must get rid of all nations and create one enterprise of Earth. And at the top of it, well, he was one of the top key business bulls. It's like I put 17 guys in charge. The political heads didn't matter when in 2005. but I anointed all your best guys in 2005 and said, listen, I'm buying all your companies and now you're in charge. So it's a movie I've been created. And so now I'm in the next part of the movie. And so let me get to my problem as you sort of contemplate all those kinds of things. And I'll ask you some weird questions. What's that? I know it will be. It's too bad. Well, eventually all of this content, see, the NSA has this all, and AppleCare has a lot of it. And by the way, I compliment you on AppleCare coming right at the top above AT&T. You know, I don't think there's any other companies on my phone, even though I use now a Microsoft cheapy Lumia, and I don't want to get into the iPhone fiasco, but anyway, you're at the top of the phone now. But actually, another question for you. Who took a bite out of Steve Jobs' apple? Okay, and then the other thing is the Gates killed the Jobs. Now, okay, here's what I need to do. I just realized that the best way to download my movies from my camera was to go into Photo Booth. And so I want to take movies, and basically I just downloaded a movie, but then I realized I had the same problem as I had with iPhoto, is I can't find the movies. So I would like to have you guide me through creating a file for Photo Booth, which is my own file in my own place, not some hidden file where I don't understand. Yeah.
And you're kind of wanting to have some guidance with where the files are located, and even potentially, not saying it's something you can necessarily do, but make a folder somewhere where you can make all the photo booths.
Yeah, no, let me tell you more specifically. I don't want to know where you put them. I want to change where you put them. And in a previous call, when they helped me with iPhoto, they guided me through changing and I forgot how to do it because I didn't think I had to do it again. The guiding through changing the directory, so the default where they stored the iPhotos was in my own sort of my own documents area. And so I want to do that same thing with iPhoto. Do you understand?
Oh, well, definitely. We can definitely talk about
what
iPhoto does and how it works. It's a little different than, Photo Booth. It's a little bit different than iPhoto. There's really limited changes that we can make to its library and its directory, unlike iPhoto. But I can definitely show you how it works, and it might be able to add some clarification to where everything goes.
Oh, okay. Show me where it goes, but why can't it go where I want it to go?
iPhoto is an application. iPhoto, I'll get that in my head. Photo Booth is an application that's built into the operating system. It's not an Apple application that has things that you can change directory-wise, like iPhoto and iMovie and things like that would. There's actually a Photo Booth library on your computer. I guess you could...
Actually, okay, wait a minute. Maybe you could fix me another way. Okay, if you are downloading movies from, on my GoPro, I decided they made it, decided I'll just move them as files. But if you're downloading movies, basically you're taking a movie from a webcam, okay? And you want to create a movie and put it into your computer. I used to use iMovie, and then somebody just told me, go use iPhoto, it's better. And he was a pretty smart guy in Apple. But so what's the best way to just make a movie off your camera and store it somewhere so that you can upload it to YouTube?
I honestly have a GoPro myself.
Forget GoPro. Wait a minute. Forget GoPro. I know. Yeah, I know what to do with that one. It's a different thing. Okay. What I'm talking about is just webcam direct to my Mac Mini. I'm sitting here with a camera. I theoretically, I haven't tried it, could do, FaceTime and that other kind of stuff. But, and I used to go to iMovie, and basically I could like create a movie in iMovie, and then that would be fine. Now, if iMovie, does it still allow me to make a movie in iMovie?
because a lot of the
Because see, it used to allow you to make a movie. You keep changing your software and stuff, and all I'm trying to do is what I used to do would be to like make a movie using my camera. I want to use the best interface. I had an error message. Well, that doesn't matter. But anyway, I want to use the best interface to create movies and then upload them to YouTube.
Okay. Well, definitely. We can look at a few different ways that you can potentially do that and have the same outcome as you would with being able to like move or save the files where you would want to.
Okay.
But with using Photo Boost, that one's pretty simple. We can do screen sharing if you would like.
Yeah, please. Do you want to do the area? It's going to be a lot faster. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Just a heads up though, with Photo Boost, the webcam will turn on. So if for some reason you want to cover it up.
No, fabulous. Watch it. I'm creating myself as a hangout. See, I'm buying the planet and I'm taking my boat to Mars, and I'm leaving pretty soon. And this movie is part of the movie, so you're in the movie, and I don't really care if you watch me. It's like the NSA has it all anyway, so go for it. So what do I need to do on this end?
We can go to Safari and we'll go to ara.apple.com. This is where I'll give you the session key. Just a heads up, just so people like it's shocking for both of us. I forget it comes on, and then they forget it comes on. There's been some crazy things.
I don't know, but here's the thing I knew, okay? I was with technology guys before, like, I went way beyond them. And my technology guy, when we were talking about we were going to create sort of a global Wi-Fi network, like stereotypically, like a guerrilla network. But anyway, he told me something was interesting. He said, I can go into any computer on the planet and I could like hack in there and watch you and know everything you're doing and you wouldn't know about it.
I'm definitely sure that's possible. I hope that never happens to me, though. I'm sure with all the
Well, no, but see, that's what we need to do. If we had the right super secure system, we'd all secure all our data for ourselves, and all our hackers would be retired working for us anyway. The best hackers we'd be put in charge of security.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So, okay, I got my ARA.com. Here we go.
All right, the session key, is that what you're reading out?
Yep.
And it is 0708721.
Which GoPro do you have?
I have the Hero 4 Black.
Oh, I just bought the Hero 4 Silver.
Those 4K videos are just like, wow. I
Well,
was
see,
recording a couple weeks ago and had to have it, so I had to give in and buy one.
well, that's cool because back in 2005, I went and bought through some discount place in New York, 2 top of the line, basically at the time, it's called Canon XL1 cameras. Each one was like $8,000. And here's the other thing, a metric. And if you're in the technology business, which Apple is, here's a metric of why GoPro is Apple. If Apple doesn't buy GoPro, tell Tim Cook he's an idiot, or at least have a technology to like take them out. But I'd rather just buy them because you're not going to take them out. But anyway, if you look at the technology, it moves along very fast. But if you go into the store and you want to go buy another camera to support Ultra 4K, do you know how much the alternates are?
I haven't looked. How much are they?
$10,000.
Oh my goodness.
That's like over it. That's like over it. I bought 128, whatever, megabyte, gigabyte, whatever, like a card for it, micro card, and out the door with the 400, it was like $500, 20 times difference. See, Canon and Sony and those guys can't survive. Maybe for the guys that are doing the weird video stuff. But see, when I basically, in my future reality, we collect all the video from all the heads of all the cameras on Earth and create virtual reality. So basically, we create a virtual reality of our time and space, and basically allow you to travel in your eyes across the planet at faster than the speed of light. I invented that back in 2005. So it's what lies beyond your Google Glasses and your Oculus Rees and all kinds of things. But anyway, so where were we? Your ARA?
Yep, ARA. There should be a download on your computer. I'm in the download folder.
Yeah, let me find them. Oh, there they are. Got it. How long have you been with Apple?
Almost 2 years. Not quite at that yet.
Okay, I've run into a lot of 2-year people. And if you don't mind, most of the guys don't mind, but if do you mind I ask how old you are?
No, I'm almost 21.
Oh my God, you're really young. The rest of the guys were like 25. I got a 32-year guy, but he was a supervisor or something.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely one of the youngest people that I've met so far.
Fabulous. Well, okay. So what kind of education do you have to get? Do you have to have a college degree to be tech support there?
I don't have like a college degree. I have some college classes I've completed regarding like computer
Okay.
things, but no particular degree. No, I don't have one. I'm sure others do. I'm sure they have different pay grades for people with or without this.
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't really need it. You should just be able to be smart. But I'm just curious.
Oh yeah, I'm sure others do, but it's definitely not a requirement.
Oh, let me read the conditions, or I don't ever read the conditions. Nobody ever does. In fact, when I was at Motorola, I spent 19 years at Motorola. I mean, before Apple even existed, okay, I was working on technology and stuff. What was I? You're now chatting with Megan.
Yes, I can see the screen here. I can't.
Fabulous. I see you. I see your red cursor. But go ahead.
I can't do it yet.
Oh, I know you can't do anything. So what do you want me to do?
Oh yeah, go ahead and minimize this.
Oh, minimize it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Got it.
Yeah. I'm just going to show you one really quick place here. Let's jump into photos, which you don't have in your sidebar here. Would you like to add photos here in the sidebar?
I'd like to add everything I have in the sidebar because maybe that's my problem is I can't see the sidebars.
Yeah, it might be. Let's go to Finder and Preferences. I know I like to see everything. If it's not letting you click it, then let's quit out of Safari first.
Well, this isn't Safari. This is Chrome.
Oh, you're using Chrome. Okay, let's quit out of Chrome then. Click and hold on it and just quit it out if you can, because it can sometimes interfere with that Apple menu bar working.
Click. What do you mean? When you say click and hold on it? Oh, and just quit.